Hello, this is the Patty Beast with a tutorial for my game engine, the Core Engine. And I've just set up a basic project with a main class that implements Core Game, and have get name return tutorial. So yeah, just create a new class, do implements Core Game, add all the methods, and add a main method. And also I have a res folder with the sounds folder with boom.wave. I just made this with SFXR, I believe. And just some image background, 1280 by 720, and a character. Okay, so to start you do core.load game, and this will start your game. The arguments from the main method, the resolution you want your game to run at, and new, and it takes a core game. So we implemented this in the tutorial, and we run. Well, and then we can see frame rate. This is how much memory it thinks it's using, or how much memory it thinks the images are taking up. 4 megabytes from the font it's using, and then this is frame time and tick time. And if we hit a button under escape next to 1, get an error. This is what happens when errors. It hits a pop-up. No pointer exception. We'll talk more about that later. I actually probably shouldn't have brought that up that early. So I guess we'll start G dot. You can I guess start drawing a basic rectangle. G dot set color, and this uses the AWT color scheme. So color dot blue, I guess. 20 600. So if you've ever used Slick or Java AWT graphics or Swing graphics, correct, direct, line, different shapes, custom vectors, and resources. You can do image EG, and image to load requires OpenGL context, and it doesn't have it. Again, talk more about that later. So if you have anything that needs it, you want to call in OpenGL init. So bg equals new image, and we can either use buffered image or a path. We'll use a path. Yeah, and OpenGL is init. It's called before init. New file. res/textures/ bg.png, and then we have to call bg.load. I thought I added those exceptions to this. So yours will probably have this, okay, now it will work, or it will, okay, it didn't, oh yeah, because I made that class before I added that, so yours will have it in order. So now if we want to do bg dot or not, we actually want to do G dot draw image for BG 0 0 core dot width core dot height, and this will be core dot width and core dot height is the rendering resolution of, and you see my amazing background image. But you may notice it's resizable, but if we type in 1280 by 720 instead of core dot width, core dot height, it still fills the screen, and this is, and also get these black bars on the side. This is because it will auto scale. You can disable this by doing in your main method, do core dot do dynamic res changes. It's default false, set that to true. Now it will dynamically change resolution. You can do core dot force AR false, and default it's true, and this will disable the black bars. So the way the primary way you're supposed to do resource management is resourceless. So if we go to image, you can see it as a static list, and we can do dot load bg.png, and then we can do draw image dot list dot get bg.png, and now it renders. And this is the reason I had you put it in res textures bg.png, because image.list.load will look there. And we can even do bg.png bg, and this works on font, sounds, and images. And now we type bg, that will still work because this is file alias, or if we don't put an alias, it will just use the file name as the alias. Okay, the path. And you notice we did that in init because this will add this to the list, and then the engine will wait until all the lists to finish loading, and then it will actually start rendering. So now font rendering, if you notice, or I don't know, I think I actually did that last time, I didn't do it this time. If you press the key under escape over tab next to 1, you get an error, and this is, and it says error, Tahoma is not loaded. That's because the UI rendering uses Tahoma, and right now there's no way to change that. And if it's not loaded, or I shouldn't say that, but core font, which is the fonts, dot list dot load. There's actually a way to change it, please don't leave. Tahoma, right? Wow, what am I saying? Anyway, now it works. We see we have core console. This is not really implemented yet. It's sort of a demo system for the UI. Or which what I was testing for the Windows, but maximize, back, and close. And and if you want to get rid of the annoying buzzing, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's annoying me. Core dot show your FPS, and if you unlock the tick rate, equals 120. But yeah, if you want to change the font, we do Tahoma, so when it gets Tahoma, it loads this. And we can do Comic Sans, Comic Sans, because we all know how much the internet loves that. And we got this out of memory error. The way textures work in OpenGL, basically, it likes Power of 2 textures. Some graphics hardware works with it, some doesn't. So you have Force Power 2 textures. Defaults to true because you should leave it on for compatibility. If we set that to false, now it works. For some reason, Java doesn't like it when you make buffers greater than 256 megabytes. So basic and font rendering is in a long line, so it makes a massive texture. So we can do colon 40, and this will load it at size 40. Now it doesn't crash. This is bold, italic, or both, based on font, AWT font, bold, italic, and plain. It defaults to 0 if it's not provided, and if size isn't provided, it defaults to core default font size. I forget what it is by default. I think it's like 80 or something. Do actual font rendering in game or with the graphics. It uses the color, whatever color is set in the graphics. We'll set color dot white and then set font. And it takes either core font or string, and this will just, and if you provide a string, it will set it to resourcelist.get or core.list.get, the name. So we'll do Tahoma. And size is the render size. This will be downscaled or upscaled from the load size. So we'll do, let's say, 30. And then g.drawString. At 150. You can see we have this as text. And so we can also do g.set font line or set text line. 0. 0 is left for horizontal and upper for vertical. 1 is center for both. 2 is right and lower, I believe. So if we set 2, and then you should do g.set text line 0, 0, because most of the things are not actually safe, so it will mess stuff up if you have the align set. Anything from default. So yeah, you should do that. And if we provide new, let's just do color.black, then whatever color you put in, now it's behind the text. Okay, so I guess let's remove all of this and load our show.png now and do import. So we can do g.draw image. Crap, don't have for just XY. That will probably be implemented. Image dot list dot get show.png. I don't know why, but yeah. Anyway, 200, 300, 200, 256, 256. Oh, and by the way, all of these are null safe, so you can pass in null as an image. You know, I think we'll just draw a white square. And see, we have a character, so now bindings. First thing we want to do is in.createBind. Now for compatibility, all first name, so move character left. And for ID we can do left. Component, now for compatibility there's a component for OS mouse and OS keyboard, and this will use the default LWJGL mouse and keyboard classes. And then key name, I believe let's just do A, because I like WASD. Oh, hang on. Sorry about that. Eclipse doesn't like when you, basically I said use Core Engine project in this project, so the Core Engine was using the libraries from its lib, but it didn't let me use controller because it's part of JInput. Anyway, so A, and if you want to list all of the keybinds or components for a controller, all you do is do print components, input.os keyboard. And we can see this is all the keys. So left, right, and I believe that's not case sensitive. So now we want to do flow x equals 0. Let's do 256 and draw this at x. And then under tick, we want to do if in dot is down left x minus equals 1 times delta. And wow, we're rendering a background. Sorry. Anyway, and delta is well, we have core delta tick rate, and this is basically, if we say 120, I think it's default 140. This is use this 1 second divided by 120 as the amount of time a tick should take, and use delta, multiply it by delta. I believe it's the amount of time last took or something like that. But yeah, it's time scale, so it's, if it's bigger than this number, it's bigger than 1. If it's smaller than 1. Anyway, so we want to multiply that by delta, and if we uncap the FPS, or set it to either 0 or core.fps uncapped, should move at the same rate. But no guarantees, so you might want to just cap the FPS to something and build around that. Yeah. And other input stuff in .is will return true for one tick and not one call. You can call it 5 times and it will return true every time if that was the tick it was pressed. There's no release yet, and let's just do the same thing for write, and then I guess do sound, and then UI. Sounds good. Right. Move to right. Same thing but plus. You can also do in.getX, in.getY, and that will account for scaling. Okay, so put this back to 120. And then do sound. So sound is same principle. Sound dot list dot load whatever I named it, crap, boom.wave. Boom.wav. There we go. So if in dot is pressed, play A, so audio engine, and I should know in A and G can all be accessed by statically core.a core.input system, that's internal thing. A dot player loops apply sound dot sound dot list dot get boom dot wav. I couldn't find it, but yeah, yeah, you can see it's spamming my console with undefined key play. So copy this. Okay, boom. And then S, find it to S, and then nothing happens. So boom dot what? It's audio crap. So yeah, great, doing great on the tutorial thing. I thought it was audio, or not audio, sounds, but it's actually audio. Just rename it to audio. If this isn't showing up in Eclipse, go to your, click on your project and hit F5. Or right click refresh, it should work. But yeah, now it should actually work. Yeah, boom. And then if we want, we can do loop and then have p pause it, so stop it, so p would stop, and the description or names don't actually do anything right now. Later on there will be GUI to bind and it will show up in that if you want to make your own, but a.stop sound, and hoping I actually implemented this. Yes, I did. Okay, so what do we want to do now? Oh yeah, and if we want, we can also do core dot do dynamic loading true, and then if we move these, you can see I broke it somehow. Okay, so you don't comment out the creating binds, and there you saw was some old code that didn't have the warning. It still broke everything. Great. Yeah, so instead of just spamming the console with those, so now I changed it coming out the load. You do actually have to create the binds still, so don't comment those out. And unable to locate. That was weird. Okay, so you can see even though we didn't load it, we put on dynamic loading, so dynamically loading bg.png and show.png, and if we play as, it says dynamically loading sound.png, then null pointers exceptions. Oh yeah, probably because I didn't make loop null safe, and some strange reason I still have it where dynamically load would turn null for like the first take, I think. Also, I should mention, when you make a new list, it's automatically added to the engine, so basically when you close the game it will automatically be destroyed, and it will wait until that list is finished loading too, and it will handle all the loading stuff. So it will tick load, so you don't have to do that, and doing that will just cause more lag doing loading stuff because it's loading 2 resources per tick. Right, so moving on from the broken stuff. Okay. So the next thing we want to do is, I guess we can create new class test screen. I believe it's extends. Yeah, it's definitely extends. Screen. And then take screen parent. So we have on enter, which I actually don't believe is being called right now. Alpha is on activate. This will be called correctly when the component is activated. So this for basics, I guess we'll just add a button. So add component new button text, so default sure and 10 50, 25, and we need to actually show the screen. So now at the end of the net, do core.setScreen, new test screen. And we can set parent as null for now. Before ever I can make another screen. And we can see it's actually buried under the FPS meter. So if we, one thing, if we want to put it in the lower left corner, we can do -250, not an X. -250 would be height -250. This would be height -25. This would be setting the height to that. But we want to put it in the lower left corner, so let's put it at core.height -100. And you can see now it's in the lower left corner. And we have this little gradient thing. And if we set do dynamic core dot do dynamic res changes true, and resize it, and now I look like an idiot. Maybe. No, I do not. It's behaving like it should. It should always be in the lower left corner. And right now you can't do custom rendering on components unless you create your own, but that's something that I'm working on. And if we say like a button that's 80 height, the fonts will scale, so we'll have really big text. So, and if we do unactivate system out ln ID, we can see it printed out the ID, so it works. Now, you can, let's GUI stuff. Though, as far as components, right now there's just like a basic text box, which if you want to do text input, do the text input class, but there's basic text box, and that's a text field. Text box sort of works, but use text field. There's a list, and if we want, we can add component new list. Okay. Is this the wrong list? No, that's the right list. New list of string and ID strings X would be, let's go to 300, 200, and you do have to account for width. So let's say we want the edge to be 100 away from the other wall, or other side of the window. We do -400. And -300, and now we'll do new list dot default item manager string. And there's different item managers. The default one will just have the text be the toString. Now there is a bug where it should be fixed, where I know how to fix it, where clipping will not scale correctly. G.setClip. Anyway. Not real important. So we have this, we have a list, and now we can actually do hit enter, go to a new line and do dot set data, and this will return a list string. So new string a banana and if I can type that without looking like a complete idiot, which I think I did. And we can see we have this, and if you look, we collect the strings. If we click on that, strings. So now if we want to do onActivate, we can create a pop-up that has a text field that has the list item. Maybe we can add a button. Let's see. Add item, which we can do later, because yeah. Oh, we'll figure it out. 25. I just want to show GUIs. So we want to set string to final, because we're actually going to want to launch a new thread if we're going to create while you're okay, so now that we have this, we have to actually start the thread. So if id dot on Eclipse equals open GUI window w equals new window. There's an XY with height and a with height title. Or an XY with height title. And this will just create a centered GUI. So title would be add string. This, let's just set to 100 and 400. And then we can do core dot show and wait W, and this will show the window, wait for it to be closed, or a component to be activated on that window, like a button is clicked or you press enter in the text field. Actually doesn't click now. Also, speaking of bugs, you can also actually click through GUIs. Working on fixing that. I just need to implement the fix for that, but yeah. So anyway, so now if we want to do oh yeah, now we can do text field item equals new text field and starting text would be, let's see, start private list. Probably going to add a thing to skip this part or something, because I'm sure you guys get the message. Don't understand this. If anyone actually watches this, which we will see. So if list dot get selected item is not equal null, start equals list dot get selected item. Okay. And then we do start. And then ID we just actually doesn't matter, so we'll just do ID. And then 10 minus 20 minus 65. And yes, we should actually add the command to a window. That would be an excellent idea and would probably make it work a lot better. And one we want, so through. And there's no way to figure out what activated, but I'll add IDs. Like, I should have actually added them before this window, but yeah, what do I talk about? Tutorial. So now we can do list dot. I don't think there's any way to get the list, sadly, right now. Should have planned this thing back. No get data, so I could implement that and it would take like, you know what, I'm going to implement that because it takes 5 minutes and I don't feel like making my own list. List dot get list dot add item dot get text. If item dot get text dot is empty. So if the item isn't empty, add it, basically. Item, and if we click and let's see, shift works, item, you can actually move this using the arrow keys, and then if we hit exit, we see it added the item. And then I guess if we want, we can add an exit button. Should be 30, I guess. Minus 300. Exit. Exit. And 260. Okay. Oh yeah, and if we banana, add item banana. The syntax doesn't set that bug. We see the scale up, and the font gets all pixely. exit. We just want to do core.exit. You know what? I'll add a. I feel like adding the OK button too. I'll add that. Sorry if anyone's bored. Yeah. You can probably leave now if you're bored. I don't know if we're actually going to do it. Wow. Oh. Yeah, this is render screen for custom rendering. And if you overwrite on anim, you know what? I'm going to look it up so you actually know. Play enter anim, play exit anim, return true when they're over. Also not implemented, but will be eventually, but probably not by this week. Okay. I wonder how long? 20 minutes. Wow, this is going to be like an hour. God. Okay. So, we're going to want minus 60, minus 35, 25, and we actually want form button. And this is a different style button. They'll probably be combined to one, but I guess I'll leave this for backwards compatibility or something. This doesn't matter right now, but we'll put OK. And then we'll put, what is it, 50? This might be too small. Add item, do it, and we now have a little OK button. So, there we go. Except for we probably want just 55. We probably want like a 70, right? Maybe a 80, whatever. I think that's about it. I really can't think of anything else. So, I will probably leave it at that. Let's, I guess, go through finally for, are there any of these options we can do? Switch load logs to disable tweak if they're true, which I don't believe they are. Yeah, we can set that to false to disable the loading resource stuff if you don't want that. We covered that. Oh yeah, if important thing. While we do this, if we press S, this may be fixed. But it plays audio, and this, if you want to pause right now, the only thing you can do is do if active screen does not equal null. And manually check the disable input. I'm not going to pause the game when there's an active screen, or I would have done that already, but I will add input checking. So, or you can say add an input filter. So, screen will automatically add an input filter where it will disable mouse clicks, stuff, and Windows will add an input filter so everything works, except if you try and if you go like this, you couldn't click on pineapple, you couldn't click through the screen, stuff like that. So, like, we can close that window, and the little bug where if any windows are open and you press the open console key, it will close the windows because it can't differentiate them. Oh, and for reference, the full font uses a character list. This is the full character list. It's not even full ACI spec. So but if you want, this is final, so let's make this not final. And you can add characters to that. So yeah, I think this is it. Bye. So actually I was going to go edit this, and then I remembered there's one thing I did forget. If we go back to our test screen, let's give you one quick thing. We can, which actually may not even work, but we can add component, new form button, dot set alignment, and default is obviously default center. Instead of having negatives be height minus, it will be the width of the parent, which oh yeah, you can already figure out, but this is based on the parent component. This will be width of the parent component and height of the width of the parent component divided by 2 plus X and Y, and width and height are default. Alignment. And it may not even work. And if it does not work, I apologize. And I apologize for being so rambly anyway. But yeah, I believe this will center it around the screen and the component. And it appears to just not work. That's cool. So sorry guys if that didn't work, but I will look into that.